evening, friends and neighbors. Or shall I say this afternoon?
Welcome back to the Denver Broncos franchise on Madden 22. I'm your host, longtime listener. Be sure to drop a like, hit the subscribe button, and comment below. You'll see some stuff going on here in the background. As if you remember from the last episode, we kind of had a little hiccup where we just kind of forgot to stop recording that episode, wrap it up, and then get ready for this one. So, apologies for the little bit of the unorthodox intro, but I think we are now ready to go ahead and jump in to the action in this one. All right, we don't have enough staff points, I think, to do anything, so do it. When we finish this week, I do want to look at the roster just to kind of make sure that I'm thinking clearly on the wide receiver front, but all right, we got another win. 3-0. We're scoring about 30 points a game. In fact, we're scoring exactly 30 points a game for an average. The defense giving up a little bit more points than I would like. Our offense really wasn't that great in this one, but again, we won the turnover battle. I think we're like +8 already in the turnover differential, which is awesome. All right, individual stats. Brett Morris, very sharp, 206 yards, but 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. He was sacked 3 times, which is not ideal. Justin Herbert, 239, a touchdown, an interception, and we sacked him 6 times. Williams was just all right. Evan Swift, the Great White Hope, as you can see here. 5'11", 224 out of Idaho State. Interesting. 56 yards and a touchdown. And that's pretty much all the noteworthy stuff there. Just 1 carry for Stevenson in this one. Mike Williams still getting it done. 9 catches, 107 yards. Decent day for Jerry Jeudy. Colby Parkinson was pretty good for the Chargers. Marshall was all right. 58 yards and a touchdown. Jerome Black didn't do a ton. Noah Fant, decent day. Added a touchdown. Cortland Sutton, another day where limited activity, but he gets a touchdown. So he's a fantasy anomaly. Here's Luke Burke stepping up. He made 8 tackles in this one. Led the team. Atta boy. Sacks. 1.5 for Webster. 1.5 for Mack. 1 for Chubb, and 1 for Draymond Jones. So the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse getting her done in this one. Then for them, it was Eric McLean, B.J. Hill, Jaron Berry, and then our middle linebackers combined for a half a sack there, as you can see, and then Wasu, half a sack. So lots going on there. Who had the interception? Kari Willis. So that's his second, as he's continuing to make a bid to stay in the lineup. Wait. Oh, I was like, why is McManus kicking? And he's kicking for the Chargers. All right. We don't really care about special teams that much. So let's just let's back out and let's go and let me double check the situation with our wide receivers, because I know like Jeudy is obviously going to be our stud for a while. And we got a lot going on between weeks here. I just need to look at the contract situation on a couple of the other guys. Like, who else do we have? There's Marshall, Burgess in front. So we're young after Cortland Sutton. I think we let him go. If he's there in free agency and we don't find a good wide receiver in the draft, or don't think we're going to get a good wide receiver in the draft, then maybe we pick him up. But I don't think we need a really good second wideout that badly. So that's the plan, is to just go ahead and let him test free agency. Now, Khalil Mack is a different story. Let's go ahead and go in here to this press conference, and basically we're going to praise the team mentality, or preach the team mentality. because we're not going to give all the credit to the QB. That's just silliness. Although he has done a very good job taking care of the football. Now, we're playing the Jags. They've got Trevor Lawrence. We need to try and slow him down, and we're going to do so with sacks pressure rather than defensive pass defenses or deflections or whatever and interceptions. Sacks are drive killers. Putting pressure on the quarterback is crucial. And a lot of times it can lead to interceptions. So I think it starts there. All right, so Khalil Mack, he's saying he wants $22 million. He's not going to get that, but we are going to make him an offer. But it's going to be more like a $7 million bonus and a $7 million salary. I think that's more than fair for a guy of his age. So we'll see if he takes this. No. We'll maybe tinker with that a little bit and creep up. Cortland Sutton, just out of curiosity, let's see if we can make an offer for like 2 years, leave the salary where it is, and maybe increase the signing bonus some. Let's give him like something like that. Just because he's given enough to this franchise that, yeah, he wants more bonus and more years, and I just don't think we can justify that. Now here is where some money gets tied up for the next several years. Brett Morris, he's our franchise QB. He's proven himself. His overall is only 84, but he is a solid QB and doing an excellent job for us, and I think we can win championships with this guy. He's got that superstar dev trait to where he's going to continue to improve for the next, 6 years basically. I think let's make this a 5-year offer. That gets him to his age 29 season, and then we make a decision from there. So that's an extra year in the contract, so we're actually going to reduce the signing bonus down to $7 million. And let's just see if he takes that. 5 years, $105 million. Boom. All right, so we got the QB position locked up for the next 5 years. That's a relief. Now, again, I know I've said this 1,000 times. I really wish that he was more of a scrambling type QB, but he does a good enough job being able to roll out and get out of the pocket and extend plays that it's not a deal breaker for me. If he was any slower than he is, we would start to get a little bit, more open to the idea of trading him away. But all right, against this defense, we're going to have our hands full. These guys do not allow guys to pass very well against them, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens, because this is going to be the third game that we will sim after the opening week win. Per our policy, it's either sim till you lose or 3 games, whichever comes first. Yep, I like those goals. Again. Now we have 24 staff points, which is enough for us to get another upgrade on the player personnel tree. So let's go ahead and do that. We might have some player upgrades. We do, so let's go ahead and do that. Quinn Miners, he's becoming a pretty decent right guard. He's probably above the league average as far as his ability. Will McPherson ought to be coming back, I guess maybe next week. I've really been kind of disappointed with the availability of top-notch middle linebackers in the draft classes we've had so far in this franchise. Actually, Okay, no, it's Ojemudia. Must have left the game, but is coming back in this one, so it's not a carryover injury at least. All right. So we go over here, and this one. Then we'll need 24 more to finish this tree. So, yeah, I mean, halfway through this season, staff points will not matter pretty much whatsoever. So, we won't even have to bother with setting the weekly goals, which is awesome. I want to look at this just in case this does anything squirrely with Luke Burke on the depth chart. So that looks fine. Webster is closing that gap quickly, which is good. I want Webster to turn into a solid second option at corner. And then, so we're still good there. Then let's go here. That's fine because he's going to be here when we're in a nickel or dime. So, good enough. Now, are we ready for week 4? We are. Come on, baby. Let's get this win here. Be nice to start off 4-0 for the second season in a row. I think we were 5-0 last year, actually. This is going to be a tough win, though. Jacksonville is pretty good in this game. We got her done. A 3-point victory. Was that on the road? I don't remember. So let's go see what they say here. Doesn't really matter. We got the win. I think that was the only goal they gave us. So, boom. Everybody gets 2,500 XP. That's awesome. We should see some serious player upgrades, and then we'll have the Colts in week 5, and we're at home. So, let's see what shook loose in this week 4 matchup. We were on the road, so that's a nice win. We ran the ball pretty well, threw it okay. Again, no turnovers. And then defensively, we were, just kind of solid both directions. Let's see if we got the sacks. We did. How about 5 of them? They got 4. Morris is playing extremely well this season. That's a pretty decent day for Trevor Lawrence, but the sacks probably made the difference. Again, just kind of decent for Williams as far as the yards per carry. I'd like to see that up around 5, and that's 2 or 3 games in a row now below 4. We did a decent job slowing him down. Stevenson, limit action. Receiving. Nice day for Jerry Jeudy. Couple touchdowns. Conklin was all right. DeMontre Howell was all right for them. Cortland Sutton, 6 catches, 62 yards, so a little bit more involved. Kevin Archer, 3 catches, 52 yards. Marshall, a pretty decent day. Laviska Shenault, 39 yards and a touchdown. Not much out of Noah Fant. Yeah, so, I'm not seeing Daquan Burgess contribute at all this year, which is frustrating. All right, Sammy Webster led the team in tackles with 9. There's Bradley Chubb. Where's Burke? Burke ended up with 5. Not the greatest, but that's okay. He's getting playing time, and that's key right now. Chubb had 2 sacks. Then Russell Spearman for them. Webster had 1. Draymond Jones another one. Khalil Mack. So the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse doing it again, baby. And then Miles Jack, Josh Allen combined for sacks, and then Favors and Jabril Cox also combining. There were no interceptions for either team, right? I believe so, yeah. So Price, 1 for 1, and then a bunch of extra points. All right. So now we're 4-0, and it's basically on to week 5 to take on the Colts. So a lot of simulation action so far in this episode, and now we'll actually get to see a game. Who's the quarterback for the Colts that it's saying? Oh no, this is probably going back to Trevor Lawrence. Yeah. So we did the job there, and the defense gets another 2,500 XP, and Surtain's going to have his X Factor locked in for this entire next game, which, that's dangerous. Alright, so now we've got more players ready to negotiate. I don't know what we're going to do with Cortland Sutton. I think we might just walk away at this point. Khalil Mack, we're going to come up $1 million per... wait, what did he say about contract length is good, but that's it? So what we're going to do is come up like $500,000 on each of these and see if we can get him to bite. Because, yeah. I mean, we have the cap room to keep giving him a little bit more there, but I just don't see us. I mean, he's not getting 22 million. That's for sure. I don't even think I'd go above like 16 million. So next year or next week is it. Now, Cortland Sutton, I think we're just going to walk away. We're too far apart there. OJ Mudia, he's 27, and he's an 83 overall. We can get probably one more really good year out of him. Then I kind of worry about him dropping off. So what I'm going to do is we're going to make it a 2-year offer. We're going to reduce the signing bonus. So that's what, $7 million a year? It's less than what they say is a fair offer, but if he doesn't like it, that's okay. He can walk, and we've got Webster, we've got Bryant right there in the hopper, ready to step up and make some plays. I'm not worried about our situation at corner right now. Garrett Bowles, we brought you back for this 1 year to serve a purpose. I think it's now time to move on and let what's his name, Lindsey Green, take over that position. So we now have 1, 2, 3 guys that we know we're going to be letting go. And then Khalil Mack is somewhat of a question mark. But if he goes to free agency, I'll bet you we can get him at a discounted rate. But we'll have to wait and see. I can't remember what we're paying him for this year. But anyway. All right. So Jonathan Taylor, I think, has to be your biggest concern against a team like this. So let's go ahead and stick with defend the outside run. Yeah, blitz counter. I honestly don't care about the weekly goals anymore because it's not going to matter. The staff points have gotten to the point of irrelevance, which I love because they're just kind of annoying, frankly. I wish they would just do that automatically. Alright, so let's go player upgrades. We're going to have a bunch. So what I'll do is show you who they are and then just do them off screen. Jones, Luke Burke getting another one, Corey Bryant, Rajon McMillan, Ajim, Bubba Van Buren, Sergio, the rookie wideout, Nolan Bennett, Nate Herbig, depth halfback, depth D-tackle, Patrick Surtain getting another one, Bradley Chubb, OJ Mudia, Webster, Moody, another Webster, Sean Harold, another Webster. I didn't realize how many Websters we had on this team, but there you go. All right, so one last thing we need to do before the game here, actually 2 things, is make sure that the depth chart is good to go because Will McPherson is coming back, and that does change the situation at middle linebacker. So if you see here, Jelani Tavai is a 76 overall. They don't even list Luke Burke here as an option to throw in there as like the second middle linebacker in a 3-4 situation, but I'm kind of curious what he would be rated if we put him in that role, but it's not a big deal. So McPherson is definitely the go-to guy at middle linebacker. I should also point out that Marcus Webster, our right outside linebacker, actually got 2 upgrades with that group of upgrades that we had there. We're still really close here to Burke closing this gap, but Willis has been playing well enough and making enough plays. He's already got a couple interceptions this year that I think he still deserves that starting role. And then if we go now to this side of the equation, here's where Burke will still get some playing time because he's going to be in the game when we are in a nickel package. And I think we might even just go like this because then when we're in a dime, he is the middle linebacker essentially, and Will McPherson heads to the sideline. If we're in a dime, it's because we expect the team to pass anyway, and since he's basically just as good in this role, I think that makes sense. So that's going to be yet another chance for him to get some reps and continue to develop because I think he's going to be really good for us very soon. So that's that. I don't think we'll need to do anything here. Why do they have Stearns here instead of... So he's a 75 overall. I want Bryant because he's actually a corner. So we'll do that. Now we've got 32 staff points to spend. So let's go ahead and burn through those. And then it's time for Week 5 action against the Colts. They come into this 3-1. Jonathan Taylor is definitely a concern because the dude is freaking really good. So, we now have that purchase done. So basically on this page, the only thing we can do here is unlock renegotiation with 1 player per season for 32 points each year. We can do that once. We're done here. We're done here. And then on this page, these 2 right here, we will purchase for 10 points each, but that's not a huge deal. And then down here, like this just unlocks a hidden dev trait for 1 player so that you don't have to wait to see it. I don't think that that's that big of a deal. And then this one, reset the talent tree for offensive, for one of these other trees. Like that's just stupid. I don't need to do that because they're already completely filled up. And we picked them based on which branch of the tree we wanted to go down anyway. So I think we're, you know, like I said, we're pretty much at the end of the relevance of those staff upgrades. But now we are ready for Week 5. It's going to be the Colts and the Broncos at Mile High Stadium. Here we go. And here we are in Mile High Stadium, Denver, Colorado. It's the Colts and the Broncos. And it's going to be a tough one for this Indianapolis squad coming into Denver's home stadium to try and take them down. This is a team that's playing very good football so far this season. The Colts are going to get the football first. Javonte sends it deep. It is going to be down for the touchback. And Indianapolis is going to start 1st and 10 at the 25. We'll get a look at the QB numbers so far this year, as it is Pat Myers, the young gunslinger. He's got 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and 867 yards to this point in the year. 2nd and 10 here. He's going to take off with it. Breaks a tackle there and takes it out to the 39-yard line. A gain of 14 and a 1st down. Nice scramble there from the young QB. Now 3rd and 6 later in the drive. That pass is going to be incomplete, and they're going to have to punt. From the 44, he sends it deep. Bryant going to let this one bounce, and it takes a Denver bounce into the end zone for the touchback. And Denver is going to start at the 20-yard line. And now we get a look at the numbers for Brett Forrest, who has been absolutely awesome for Denver so far this year. Just 815 yards, but 11 touchdowns, no interceptions to this point so far in the season. They're going to start things off on the ground, and that's going to help set the tone there as Javonte Williams goes right up the middle for a gain of 13. And now 1st and 10, they're going to give it to Trey Stevenson. He gets to the edge and has a huge lane down the sideline, and he's going to take this one all the way down to the Indianapolis 30-yard line, a gain of 38, and a fantastic start now for Denver. 51 yards in 2 plays on the ground. Now 2nd and 10, Morris looking to throw, dumps it out into the flat to Javonte Williams. He runs over a linebacker and takes it down to the 18 for a first down. Now 2nd and goal, swing it outside to Stevenson, and he's going to take it in for the touchdown, and Denver just roars right down the field and takes the lead early in this one, as it's going to be 7-0 with the extra point. That play going, or that drive going 80 yards in 7 plays in a little under 3 minutes. Now 3rd and 4 on the ensuing drive. That pass was intended for his receiver Knowles down the middle, off the hands. That's a drop, incomplete, and they go 3 and out. But then on the ensuing possession, it's Morris getting picked off on 3rd down and 3, and that is going back to the house. It is a pick 6 for the Colts. A huge play there, and Indianapolis going to tie this thing up as Blackman jumps the route and takes it back for the score. Now 3rd and 10 on the ensuing drive. Morris going to go deep down the sideline for Cortland Sutton. That ball is going to be incomplete. Good coverage there, and the Broncos now go 3 and out. So Indianapolis with a chance to capture the lead here, and they are going to start from about the 36-yard line here as Tony brings it back to pretty good field position. Now 3rd and 4 later on that drive from the 38. That pass complete to the fullback, and he's going to take it down to the 23-yard line, 1st and 10. Next play, it's Myers looking to throw, has plenty of time, swings it outside to Tony, and he's got it down to the 13-yard line, and that's going to be another Colts first down. Make it 1st and 10 from the 13. They're going to keep it on the ground here, and Jonathan Taylor, going to take this one all the way down to the 1-yard line, setting up 1st and goal. And on that play, he's going to swing it to his tight end there, Allie Cox, I believe that is, for the touchdown. And the Colts grab the lead. It's going to be 14-7 with the extra point. That drive going 64 yards in 8 plays. And the Colts with an early lead over the heavily favored Broncos in this one. But here comes Denver back to work. 3rd and 4 on the ensuing drive. They give it to Stevenson. He's got 14 yards, and he's off to a good start. 52 yards on just 2 carries. Later in the drive, 3rd down and 5. They keep it on the ground, and it's Javonte Williams up the middle for a first down at the 31-yard line. And apparently we missed a touchdown there, so I'm not going back to fix that. But I don't remember exactly how it happened. Anyway, 14-14. I think we did that drive mostly on the ground. But nonetheless, Colts now have the football. 3rd and 13 is going to be a sack here. He loses the football. The Colts able to recover. Now about 4 minutes left to go in the first half. It's 4th and 29 at their own 41. They send it deep. It's Bryant to return. Fields this one at the 17. No return there. And the Colts, or the Broncos rather, are going to have an opportunity to maybe take the lead late in the first half. But it's going to be a sack here by Paye. His 2nd of the ball game already, sets up 3rd and long. The Colts would end up forcing the punt. But on the ensuing drive, 3rd and 1, Myers looking to throw. Bradley Chubb gets the sack. That's his 2nd of the ball game. We'll bring up 4th down. The Colts, or the Broncos rather. I'm getting horses confused here. The Broncos do call timeout, maybe thinking that they could score late in the drive or late in the half. It's going to be Albert O with the completion there. He's got it out to the 29-yard line in a first down. They basically run the same play going the other direction. Noah Fant has 11 yards, gets out of bounds, another first down, stops the clock. Then they go play action on 2nd and 10. Morris going to go down the middle. He's got Jerry Jeudy, and he's going to take it all the way down to the Indianapolis 39-yard line. Another timeout for Denver, stops the clock with about 25 seconds to go. Then on 2nd and 10, with only 1 timeout, the Broncos run the ball, basically just trying to get it centered for a field goal try. But Javonte Williams gets a huge hole around the left side and takes it the distance for the touchdown. A huge turn of events there, as Denver was not thinking touchdown on that possession, given the timing situation with the end of the half approaching and just 1 timeout. So they go into the halftime with a 7-point lead instead of potentially none if the field goal would have been missed, because it would have been a pretty long one. The big difference so far in this one has been the turnover that was a pick 6 that's kind of keeping the Colts in the story here. Now we go look around the league at some scores, and the Raiders are out in front in Vegas. It's 14-7 as the Chargers are 0-4 out of the gates and trailing in that one late in the first half. Then we go up the coast to San Francisco, and it's going to be the 49ers getting smoked by the Seahawks, who are 3-1 in the early going. They lead that one 20-7 with about 30 ticks left in the first half. Then we go to Minnesota, and it's the Chiefs in town to take on the Vikings, and they are just putting it
on the home squad. It is 21-0. Pat Mahomes off to a good start in that one, already over 200 yards. Zach Wilson, a rough go of it so far. And now it's second half action. Javonte Williams, first play of the second half. He gets 17 yards, and he's got 111 yards on just 11 carries so far in this one. Then 3rd and 11. It's going to be Morris sending it deep for Jerry Jeudy. Jump ball. He makes the catch. Going all the way down to the 8-yard line. 1st and goal. Sensational grab there as he was pretty well covered. But on 3rd and long, sometimes a good idea to just fire one up deep, and it paid off there. Then it's Morris hitting Cortland Sutton for the touchdown. And Denver going to extend that lead, make it 28-14. Ensuing possession, Jonathan Taylor up the middle, and he's got a first down into Denver territory at the 44-yard line. He's now got 45 yards on 9 carries. Now 3rd and 8. That pass complete to Taylor, but Burke right there to make the tackle takes him down short of the yard to gain, and it's going to be 4th and 3 from the 36. They're going to try the long field goal, and the kick is good, so that's going to cut the lead down to 11. It'll be 28-17 here partway through the 3rd quarter. Now 2nd and 10 on the ensuing drive. Morris looking to throw. He's going deep for Jeudy again. There is a flag on the play. It passes complete to Jeudy, taking it down to about the 20-yard line. And they're going to add some yardage here, make it halfway to the goal as it's roughing the passer against Indianapolis. And later in that drive, 1st and goal from the 1. They just do a QB keeper, and it's going to be Morris diving into the end zone for the touchdown to extend that lead. It's now 35-17. Colts in trouble here, but they roar right down the field. And the first play of the 4th quarter, they score a touchdown here as it's Tony with the touchdown grab to make it 35-24. That drive taking 10 plays to go 75 yards in a little under 4 minutes. So the Colts still in it, but now Denver back to work. 2nd and 5. There's Stevenson to the edge. Again, another big game as he is now over 100 yards on just 6 carries. Now Denver going to go play action where they have him set up thinking about the run. And it's Jerry Jeudy taking it in for the touchdown. His 5th touchdown grab of the season. That makes it 41-24. They would add the extra point, but 6 plays to go 71 yards in a little over 2 minutes as this offense is just on fire right now. And now it's the Colts down to their kind of last hope here late in the 4th quarter, trailing by 18. They have to start moving in big chunks there. And that's Knowles with a nice grab, 24 yards. Makes it 1st and 10 at the 47. Then it's Tony down the middle. He's got it inside the 30 to the 28. And the Colts maybe not out of this yet if they can put up a quick score here. Now 3rd and 5. That pass incomplete over the middle sets up 4th and 5. And they are going to go for it. They go down the middle. That pass complete to Tony. Good for the first down inside the red zone. 1st and 10 to 15. They get it down to the 1-yard line. 1st and goal. And they're going to hit Pittman in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. That would make it an 11-point game with the extra point. So it's 42-31 ensuing drive. About 4.5 minutes to go when this drive starts. Javonte Williams running people over. He's got a first down. Now 3rd and 4, approaching the 2-minute warning. They swing it outside to Williams. He's got the first down. That would get it down to about, or actually inside 2 minutes now. 3rd and 1. Indianapolis down to their final timeout. That is going to do it there as they get the first down, and the Colts let this one get away from them. Mostly they just could not stop Denver's offense as this Broncos rushing game was just all over the Colts in this one. 276 yards on the ground. Take a look at some individual stats here. It was a solid day for Morris. He did throw his first interception of the year, but 234 yards on an 18-27 effort and 3 touchdowns. Pat Myers was really good. 22 for 34, 204 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions for the third-year quarterback out of Ole Miss. Big day for Javonte Williams, 165 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor was solid, but they had to get away from the run game as they trailed for most of this one. Pat Myers, 57 yards on the ground. He did fumble once, but they recovered it. Stevenson ends up with 111 yards on 8 carries, and not a whole lot else going on the ground to make note of there. Kadarius Toney with 9 grabs for 78 yards and a touchdown. Ali Cox had 55 yards and a touchdown grab. Stevenson, a touchdown reception. Jerry Jeudy, big day, 150 yards on just 4 catches, including a score. Williams had 30 yards on 4 grabs. Knowles, 49 yards on 3 catches and a big drop early in this one. Cortland Sutton, just 2 catches, 17 yards and a touchdown. Very Cortland Sutton-like numbers there. And then Pittman with a short touchdown grab was his only catch of the day. Take a look at the defense as it's Burke with 12 tackles leading everyone in this one. Good day for him. Blackman for the Colts had 11 tackles, including 1 for a loss and the pick 6, so a big day for him. Bradley Chubb, 2 sacks. Kwity Paye, also 2 sacks. Sean Harold with a sack, and then there you see Blackman, the only interception for either side. Austin Seibert, 1 for 1, hit a 53-yarder and 4 extra points. Drew Price, the rookie, 6 for 6 with the extra points there. You see Wright had 4 punts for a net average of about 40 yards. Gervasi, 2 punts for a similar average. And the Colts take this one 42 to 31.
And after the game, we get a couple of nice upgrades here, both Javonte Williams and Brett Morris. So Williams, a huge day on the ground for us, and he's going to get even better. And then Brett Morris, his first interception of the year, but ended up putting together a pretty solid line for the day. And he is now up to an 85 overall. With his, lead archetype is still not the improviser that is the scheme fit. He's more of a strong arm and field general type, but he's doing a really good job for us this season, and could be putting up Pro Bowl type numbers. If he continues to play the way he is, he's definitely putting up Pro Bowl numbers. So we're 5-0 on the year now. We've got 21 staff points. I can't remember if there's anything else that we still need. Well, actually, I know that there are a couple here, but I don't remember how much they cost. 10 apiece. So we'll get these. And is that the last of anything that we need to buy, except for the stuff that's like once per season? Like, we don't need this. We should never need that one, hopefully. And then what about down here? Yeah, the only one we would ever need here is to unlock negotiation with somebody that said that they weren't interested in signing. So that's awesome. We won't have to worry about that for a long time. And also awesome is the fact that we're now 5-0. So that's good. We do have 2 injuries to address here. Dislocated elbow for Fant. He's out for a month. And then Webster, dislocated ankle. He's out for a month. So that hurts on the defensive front, but we'll be okay. We still have a really good group of guys there. So next man up will get the job done. And Albert O has done well in scenarios where Fant was not in the game, and we needed him to kind of step up. So we'll see how that goes moving forward. So we won our 5th game of the season, and I got to think about this because what do we want to do so far in this episode? I got to think about this because I've messed this up when I realized that I never cut transmission between the first and second episodes. So we've done in this episode 2 sims and a play. We're going to sim 1 more and get ready for week 7, where we might be simming that game as well if we win here. But we'll make it a 4-game episode, and then start over in the next one. So Matthew Peppers, linebacker. We're going to take a look at him and see if he is a potential fit. Now, he's an outside linebacker, and if he's a guy that's like a 2nd or 3rd rounder, I kind of like the idea of maybe taking a flyer on somebody like that, because we're eventually going to need replacements for Chubb and Khalil Mack, and we've got one with Marcus Webster. But let's go look at this guy. Was he a left outside linebacker or right outside linebacker? And what the heck was his name? Matthew Peppers. Right here. 2nd or 3rd round, which is good. B pursuit, B zone coverage. So that's promising. His physicals are very impressive. So that's promising. Yeah, we're definitely going to highlight this guy, because he could be a great pick if we can get him in the 2nd round, and more of what we learn about him is also promising. But the fact that we have 2 of his key ratings revealed and they're both B is a good sign. All right, so players ready to negotiate. What we got going on here? Khalil Mack. Remember, we tried to make him an offer and he didn't take it. And the plan is basically to come up like $1 million each week to see if we can get him. Because we've got cap room. Yeah, he still wants more salary. But the reality is, like, I don't think anybody else is going to pay him $16 million. I should probably just let him walk at this stage. So we kind of need to decide what to do there. Now, OJ Mudia, he wants more bonus and duration. I think we offered him a 2-year deal, and he's not interested. He's still a good player. So, like, 7 mil or 8 mil a year is pretty respectable for a corner that's that good. Let's see if we can get him for $15 million for 2 years. Dang it. I don't think we're going to end up getting that worked out, frankly. But it's okay. Like, our team is still really good. I just don't want to get all my money tied up in aging veterans to where then some of these new young studs coming up through the ranks become issues when it comes to the salary cap. So, all right, weekly strategy against the Titans is definitely slow down Derrick Henry. These guys do not throw the ball well. They're dead last in the league. We're going to go blitz counter here. I don't care about the weekly game plan goals because it doesn't matter. Because staff points are pretty much irrelevant moving forward. As long as I get like 70 a season, we should be fine. And there is no way we're not going to do that, even if we don't even pay attention to it. So it's good to not have to deal with that anymore. Got a player upgrade. It's the kicker. Nice. He's up to a 72 overall. Give me another power boost. Ah, dang it. When I saw 2, I thought maybe we had a chance. But it's okay. Alright, now what? We're ready. Simmon week 6 here. Can we get to 6-0 on the season? Was this at home or away? I think it was at home. Crushed them. Absolutely crushed them. I'm telling you, this could be the year for the Broncos. 6-0. A lot of pretty comfortable wins for the most part. Our defense actually hasn't even really hit its stride yet as far as if you can see how many points per game we're giving up. I'm not real satisfied with that, but we sure did well in this game. They did nothing on the ground or through the air. We got 3 turnovers. We had a turnover ourselves. Ran the ball pretty well. Didn't throw it that much, but we probably didn't have to. So Morris, 2 touchdowns, 2 sacks, no interceptions. Bridgewater is their QB, and apparently he had a rough day. 97 yards, sacked 4 times, and picked off twice. Ouch. Javonte Williams, another good day. Derrick Henry was solid. He's the one that fumbled, or he was the one that fumbled for them, at least I should say. I don't see who fumbled for us. How did we lose the football? We had a turnover. It might have been one of our receivers. All right, so Judy had a good day. Cortland Sutton was pretty solid. Marshall was all right. Dalton Keene getting involved and got a touchdown. That a boy. Just 1 catch for Albert O. Kind of disappointing. Let's go defense here. Evans had 11 tackles. Luke Burke led the team in tackles again. I think he's going to be a stud. I'm convinced that he's just going to be one of those electric players that's kind of like a Troy Polamalu. You can line him up just about anywhere, and he's going to make plays. Bradley Chubb, 2 sacks. Mallard had 1 for them. Is he here? Yeah. Christian Fulton. Burke had a half a sack. Draymond Jones, another half sack. Hopper, and then Harold and Mack combined for a half sack. Interceptions. Burke had one. Heck yeah. And Surtain had another one. He's having a good year so far. Don't really care about the kicking. Bottom line is we crushed him. And Luke Burke is playing pretty darn well. At this point in his career, he is already kind of making his mark. And I think he's going to be potentially a Hall of Fame type player. But that'll do it for this episode. If you haven't done so already, please be... Man, the freaking Chiefs keep winning. We win 6 in a row. They win 6 in a row. Now we got the Raiders coming up, and it's on the road. Then the Bears on the road before our bye week. So we'll see if we can keep this going here. Man, would it be awesome to be 8-0 going into the bye week, but we'll have to see what happens. So, again, if you haven't done so already, please be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment below, and we will see y'all next time.
Good evening, friends and neighbors. Or shall I say this afternoon?